Hello, listeners, and welcome back to Four Weebs. We are on episode 23? 24.
Oh, shit.
No idea.
25. One of those numbers. We're somewhere in the 20s now. Yay, us. Yay! We are that anime podcast where we watch a good and a bad anime each week, and we then come together and talk and bitch about them. I am Becca. I am your host for this evening, or morning, or whenever you're listening. I don't know. I'm not your mom. And I just came back from watching X-Men, and that's the most exciting thing about my life today. Carrying on to Veda.
Hi, I'm Veda. I left my house today.
Yes, nice.
Good job, Veda.
Thank you, I know. Oh, it was so hard. I made it. I'm alive. Okay.
Classic.
Thank you. Anyway, let's go, Liam.
My name's Liam, and to further my weeb transformation, I bought a 3DS XL today.
Ooh,
Also,
that XL.
Gotta have that extra screen size, baby.
It's all about the size with you boys.
Wink.
Wink.
And last but not least is Leah.
I don't know how to follow up with all those awesome things, because I didn't really do much today.
You know what? I feel like that's an accomplishment in itself.
I did some crunches today.
Nice.
That's
Wow.
something.
That's-
So healthy.
Yeah, and then I had
You
a
can't
giant dinner.
exercise. You're a weeb like all of us. We're all shut-in neats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're ruining it.
The only
Want
exercise
to
I
call
get
it
is...
exercise. I wouldn't really.
You're just trying to get up out of bed, and it was so hard it just ended
Yeah,
up being...
that was actually the most I did. Was me attempting to get myself out of bed.
I'm just
How
envisioning
did you
Leah
know?
now. Like,
Trying to make myself sound fit, Liam. God.
The trick is to just roll, Leah. If you just keep rolling, you'll eventually get out.
Yeah, but then I hit the ground and it hurts.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't have a solution for that.
Pillows on the floor.
Yeah, I'll have to strategically place.
If there's pillows on the floor, you may as well just sleep on the floor, and then you can roll forever.
I'll
let
get
me
myself
check.
one of those awesome, hentai pillows.
Oh.
Body pillows.
With a sexy
Yes.
man on it.
There you go.
Which waifu would you put on the pillow?
Oh, I have no idea. Whichever one called to me the most. I'd need to just look at all the selection.
There's
Yep.
so many
There's so many.
waifus.
I think we all know who my body pillow would be.
It probably definitely
Oh,
wouldn't be
please.
Asuka, you damn pervert.
Wow.
I'm sorry, that sounded more serious than I wanted it to.
No, it was great, because it was real.
Am I right, Liam?
I mustn't run away. I mustn't run away.
Shinji, you stupid idiot!
Oh god.
We could probably, I think I was talking to Becca about this last week, how we could probably compile all the times we've kind of mentioned Evangelion and make an entire episode out of it. And I feel like Shinji, you idiot, would be the bulk of the
I would
recording.
expect so.
But
Yeah.
boy,
Most memorable
My
quote
fault.
ever. Yeah.
it's
Thanks
so
to
cool.
Liam. Oh.
What, are you done it yet?
No. I'm so close. I think I'm on episode
Just-
20-ish.
Oh, you're so
Man.
close.
I'm so
Yeah.
Put
close.
off
Take
like a
the plunge.
band-aid.
Yeah.
I've got
And then
so
watch-
many...
I keep watching No Game No Life though.
Ah.
Oh.
Well, that's a
I've
sign
watched
of
a
a
bit
good
more of that as well.
Yeah, what episode are you on?
Just episode 4.
Oh.
I've also started Konosuba,
Nice.
Good
and I've
choice.
also
think you
started
told me this.
Kisnavier, the new...
I wanted to
Ooh, I
start
wanna
watching
watch
it.
that
God damn
one.
it, Liam! I was gonna pick that.
Stop
I've only
watching it,
watched
Liam.
one episode.
Leah, save it for one of the weeks when Liam's missing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's not going anywhere. He'll be fine. Nothing's gonna happen to poor Liam-san.
Should we maybe
Get
Yeah,
into
tell
it?
everybody
Let's
what's
talk
happening
about this
this week?
shitty yaoi you made us watch.
I didn't make you watch Yaoi. Okay, so
Don't deny, it's close enough.
as I said before, each week we draw marbles. Whoever receives the red marble gets to watch the shitty anime. They get to pick a poor person to go with them. This week we are watching Shounen Ai anime because I feel like we haven't watched any of it at all. And it's actually a fairly large genre within anime from my understanding. So I figured we could start this off because I still haven't eaten and I'm going to sit here and eat my french fries, I figured we could start talking about the bad anime, which Liam and Leah watched.
Oh, I watched it.
Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did I think Liam and Leah were together?
I don't know, but you freaked me out earlier today.
Oh.
You're like, Beta, did you start watching it yet? And I was like, oh my god, did I watch the wrong anime? Like, fuck.
I'm just here to ruin everything
That's
today.
why I was like, no,
Beta's
like, take it off.
I just came here to fuck shit up. So
Okay.
anyway, the bad anime that we watched is called Gravitation. A quick rundown of the plot. The story surrounds an aspiring singer, Suchi Shindo, and his band Bad Luck. Shuchi wants to become Japan's next biggest star and follow in the footsteps of the famous idol Ryuichi Sakuma, the lead singer of the now disbanded legendary group Needle Grasper. One evening, Suchi is looking over his lyrics for a song that he's writing when the paper is blown away by the wind and then picked up by a tall, blonde-haired stranger.
Of course it is.
Romantic chords of music. The
No.
man dismisses Suchi's hard work as garbage, which hurts Suchi deeply, because whatever strangers say is very hurtful. Despite his anger, he is intrigued by the stranger. This will be their first encounter. Shuchi becomes fascinated by the stranger, who soon turns out to be the famous romance novelist Iri Yuki. And
That's a long description.
yeah, you know what? I said screw you, my anime list, and I went to Wikipedia.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
But I still like my anime list.
I
Not
do.
to diss my anime list.
Yeah. My anime list is fine, it's just not the greatest for descriptions of what happens in an anime, specifically grammatically.
That's
like,
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just, because anybody can edit it, probably.
Yeah, it's not, well, everybody, whatever. It's the
But
reading
we
it
love
that
you, my
becomes a
anime
problem.
list. Seriously,
Yeah.
save our lives.
Think about
It's fine.
sponsoring us. We'll take your money. Anyway,
What if they don't have any money?
I'm sure they have money. They can afford the servers. Anyway, that's a completely different point. Let's get into it. First
It was
impressions.
really bad. I don't know if I'm gonna get as fired up as I did in the School Days
Didn't
episode.
you say it was worse
but
than
it
School
was-
Days, though?
It was definitely worse than School Days.
Dear
Wow.
So
God.
fuck this show. And
I'm not
fuck
sorry.
you, Becca, for making me watch it.
You're welcome, Liam.
wow. I didn't see School Days, so I don't know what the comparison is for this show and School Days, but it wasn't good.
No?
Like,
No.
there was a remarkable fusion of live action and animation.
But it was
first
only in the
episode.
first
And
episode.
it never happened again.
No!
You know
That
what,
sounds
though?
weird.
Animes do that. Like, sometimes they'll skip the intro for the first show.
They didn't. No, they had the intro in the first episode.
Oh, that's exciting. What's the intro like?
It's like a weird, not 80s, but 80s music video.
They look super 80s from the pictures I've looked online.
really,
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to be the 80s.
This is some
show.
like Escaflowne, Fushigi Yugi generation.
Yeah.
animation.
I was gonna say, I guess I should, like, all cards on the table. I have seen the first episode of this show, although it was back in about 2006 when the show was brand new.
Mm.
So,
This was from 2006?
it might, yeah, I
No,
believe
think
so.
it's from 2000.
Is it
thought
from
it was from
2000?
Oh my god.
It might be even further back. I have
It
a really
looks
bad
like the
recollection of
90s.
The point
time.
is, like, when you compare this to whatever year it's from, like, it doesn't hold up well.
No.
Like,
Okay, I'm
the
about to watch
animation
the
was
intro.
so bleh. It was so,
Okay.
like, there was barely any animation, that was the point. And then the drawings that were there were just really shitty. It was almost like with this first episode, they didn't have the budget to, like, have this scene of the main character kind of running to a meeting, being late.
Yeah.
So they just filmed some random guy on a shitty camera, like, running through the streets of Japan in live action, and
He
then
didn't
put,
look
like,
the
some...
main character.
Some, like,
Sorry?
He didn't even look like the main character.
Yeah. And then they just added some, like, weird-ass filters to it,
Mm-hmm.
and just juxtaposed it into the first episode, and fuck, it was
That
just...
sounds great.
and
but
it
that's
starts right away.
You know what?
Thing you see is
Yeah.
this weird live action shit.
You know what the mix of live action and animation
that is
reminds me
weird.
of?
I'm
Is
watching it right now.
Evangelion. So,
Okay, but-
you know, suck it.
But Evangelion didn't do it as the first thing in the first episode, and it was only in like the later episodes when they were running out of budget, when they were like, "Oh, we don't know what to do." Add 2 minutes of weird stock footage.
What I find weird too, because again, I just started it now, is it like automatically starts off with the animated intro, and then it goes into live action, and then it goes back to the anime.
It's really jarring, and like that's the only time they use it is like at the beginning of the first episode. Every other episode has no live action at all.
Well, that's annoying. What?
Like, why is it there?
So, can we back up for a moment? What happens in the first 3 episodes? Like I said, I've only watched the first 1 episode, and I seem to remember somebody kissing somebody, and I was like, oh my god, they do that in anime? And
But it's like
that
a
was
really
it.
weird, rapey kiss.
Well,
Yeah,
we
they
are
do that
watching Shounen Ai, so...
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be creepy.
I feel like, I don't know if yours was like this, but I know, like, with our the good anime I watched, it's like, so many mixed feelings. You're like, is this cute? Is this creepy?
Yeah.
Is it weird? I'm confused.
With Gravitation, it was just creepy.
Great.
But
yeah, because the main character like is pretty short and acts pretty childish and has pink hair, and it's just, and then the guy who kisses him is like really tall and just looks kind of grumpy all the time.
Typical.
And hangs out with lots of other adult-looking people.
I guess.
And just kind of, he not the fact that it just kisses him, he kind of like treats the boy like shit the whole time.
Basically.
And
it's not a good relationship.
He's just gonna turn him into his little meat hole for his.
Oh my god!
Too far?
No, you're good.
Just far enough. That's great. The visual's horrible though.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Descriptions I
hear
never
you
want
guys
to hear again.
in the background.
Okay, I had a question.
Alright, I'm good.
I was going to say something about... Oh, that's what I was going to say, is that, I guess for any new listeners, we all are quite sensitive to, like, interactions between men and boys, because we had a Boku no Pico episode, issue that happened, like, way at the beginning of recording the podcast, so we're all a little bit sensitive about that kind of thing.
Bad memories.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks again, Andrew.
Right.
Bastard.
I have no regret.
That's okay.
Except for watching Gravitation. Boku no Pico was far more enjoyable than this.
Oh my god! It wasn't.
It wasn't. I don't think it was that
It was
bad.
so boring. Like, I was watching it, and of course I had to watch it in sub, so I couldn't really do anything else while watching it.
Good.
And it was just like, ugh, it was so boring. And then when they did get to actual animation, it was just really lackluster, and they're relying a lot on, like, just really, really exaggerated animation.
Yeah.
Like, there was one guy that was just fucking acting, like, the band manager just acts like the Tasmanian devil half the time.
Yeah. And he just, like, random shit in the background, and you're just like, why? They don't explain. That was another thing about the show. They like, tried to set up jokes, but every time they tried to set up a joke, it just, like, fucking died. Like, I can't explain it. It was like the jokes didn't have any setup, and they would just happen, and they, like, expect you to laugh, and you're like, but I don't understand what's happening right now. So I can't laugh because I don't know why you did that. Like, it happened a few times. Like, there was one time where it cut to a scene, and they were, like, watching a television, and it was all serious at 1 second, and, like, the silhouette of the band manager is just dancing next to the television.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and you're like,
yeah, that was weird.
I guess it's like,
And it's like a really poorly drawn stick silhouette.
Yeah, and they don't, like, mention it at all. They don't even say anything about it. They just, like, completely ignore that it's there.
So it's not like it's like pun humor where it doesn't translate properly. Like, that really annoys me.
There's a couple of those, but yeah.
Typical anime.
Yeah.
Puns.
It's because we're filthy Genjins or whatever.
Gaijin, I think.
Okay.
Is that a racist term? I don't know what's being said. I'm
It
sure
means-
it's fine.
It means
White person.
foreigner.
Oh, yeah, that's
Or
accurate.
foreigner.
Yeah.
It's like a gringo, kinda.
Ah, I gotcha now. Gotcha.
What else was I gonna say? And then, of course, like, the main character is in a band, and the whole anime's kind of set in the music industry.
But the music
And-
is shit.
Well, yeah, the music's really bad, and when they do get to, like, some of the performances, it's like, There's like the pink-haired little shit and his long-haired sexy friend.
Friends,
Like who's on the guitar and the pink-haired guy's singing, and there's just two of them on
course,
stage.
it's like the guitar player.
There's a guitar player and a singer on stage, and then they have this music video that starts and there's a whole band playing somehow.
I was gonna say, is there like full production behind them, like drums and everything? Oh boy.
But no, then they introduce the kid with the synth, and he does all the band.
And the producer brings in, or the head of the company brings in this other little boy to play synthesizer with them because she thinks the band isn't good enough with just the two of them.
Is he actually a little boy?
And of course the pink-haired boy gets so upset he has the synth boy, he like rearranges part of his song and plays it for everybody, and everybody's like, "Oh man, that was really good." And then they're like, "What did you think?" The guy who wrote the song, and he's like, "I have to go poop." So he goes to the washroom. Then he goes to the washroom and cries and like unrolls and like the entire room.
That was so random.
Paper.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then his like friend is outside the bathroom and he hears him crying, and like goes to the blonde-haired dude and is like, "Don't make him cry or I'll beat you up," and then drives away.
Isn't it the pink-haired dude issue though? Like,
what's his issue?
That he's crying because somebody else came in and was better than him. That's how I'm reading this situation anyway.
Oh, dude.
So sensitive.
Don't bother trying to stick up for this anime. It's not worth it.
So sensitive.
No, all the characters are stupid and annoying, basically.
Okay, can you tell me a bit about their relationship?
Very poorly drawn.
Can you tell me a bit about their relationship? Because I'm quite curious about this. Because, like I said, I seem to remember at the end of the first episode, the tall blonde dude kisses the little pink dude, and...
if you can call it a relationship, basically what happens is, like, the pink-haired kid is writing a song, and, like you said in the description, the blonde-haired kid finds it, the blonde-haired adult, finds it and is like, "This is shit," and then the kid gets all upset, like, "Why would you think it's shit?" So then he, like, stalks him? I don't know what happened. I can't remember. I watched it. Yeah, and then, he stalks the blonde dude, and the blonde dude's like, "The fuck?" And he's like, "Oh, I just wanted to follow you because I'm mad because you said that mean thing about my song, but you're still interesting." I don't know.
Well, that's how I met Adam. I was like, "I don't like you. I'm going to stalk you until I do."
Well, that's obviously how the greatest relationships are made.
Well,
no, it's okay. I'm only stalking you because I want to follow you.
Yeah. You're like my own personal Jesus.
There you go. Aww. Then what even happened after that? I don't know. Somehow they end up in the blonde dude's house, right?
Well, yeah, and then the blonde dude kind of is just playing these mind games with him, saying like, "Why are you still here? You're just being annoying. You should go home."
Yeah.
And the blonde kid just like leaves.
Yeah.
And then he gets mad at him some other time for some other reason I don't care about, and then comes back, and then he's like, "Okay, you're a little cute right now, so I'll kiss you."
Yeah.
But I'm gonna kick you out again later.
I was really confused at the end of the second episode. So basically the whole thing is the blonde dude is like a bitch to the pink-haired kid, and then the pink-haired kid gets upset, and then the blonde dude's like, and then something happens, and the blonde dude's like, "You're cute right now," and then he kisses him. That happens in like all 3 episodes.
So the blonde-haired dude is into little dudes that cry.
I guess.
That seems
And the little
different.
dude is into being verbally abused, and he enjoys being treated like human garbage.
Well,
yeah.
Unless somebody's talking about a song, apparently. That's what I'm picking up.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really weird. But I was really confused. At the end of the second episode, the blonde dude, like, kisses the pink-haired kid, and then they, like, fall over. Like, I don't know how to explain it better. They just, like, sink to the floor, you know, and you're like, okay, and then it just ends. And then in the next episode, he's all, like, talking to his red-haired guitar player friend, and he's like, "Ho ho! Ask me if last night went well or something," and the kid's like,
yeah,
"No."
That was so dumb.
Oh god, and then it goes on for like 5 minutes like that, and he's like, "I'm not gonna tell you what happened," and I'm like, "So
no!
did they have sex, or did they just make out? I don't know."
Maybe it's supposed to be left vague. So I did want to address the one thing. I know when I was looking up Gravitation to get like the intro and everything together, it was marked as yaoi. But
Really?
my understanding is yaoi is like the hentai version of Shounen Ai, where
Yeah,
like
not-
there's
They
like
showed like the
yeah.
war stuff.
Okay, so it is kind of yaoi.
Not in the anime. I mean, like the definition of yaoi.
Yeah, yeah.
In this, I think that I was reading the wiki page, and I think maybe the manga is a bit more yaoi.
Okay.
Later on in the manga, it becomes more yaoi, but I don't think the anime is at all.
Okay, that's good to know. Because
Mhm.
I'm not about making people watch porn unless it's
No,
profitable.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
I mean, at least make me watch something I can fap to.
Well,
You can
there's
fap
that.
to
I mean, like,
this.
I'm not into dudes, but I
No,
don't even know
it's
someone who is
expected.
into dudes would want to fap to this.
Oh.
Nobody should find this anime hot in any way. Just no.
What if you're really into like little pink guys?
No, because like even if the little pink guy's
Only
like
his hair's pink. His whole body isn't pink.
Aw.
like you can't even get into them because the characters all look like I don't know some sixth graders DeviantArt OCs.
Oh, that
Just-
bad.
Oh,
That's what they look like.
Oh.
It's they're off proportion all the time, and the fact that the animation is really crappy just doesn't help the fact that the characters look so ugly
Aw.
and off proportion and just
Do you-
also sorry.
I was gonna say, do you think if they were drawn better, or if it was a better rendered anime, it might be more... that might help it at all?
Well, I mean,
Mm,
maybe, but the dialogue's so bad.
It is.
Still.
I was gonna say, did you find that the Japanese dub was even really bad? Because I don't know.
The
To me, the
Japanese dub was all I listened to.
yeah,
And, I mean, there wasn't anything super impressive about it.
I found the main character's voice in the Japanese dub really grating. I don't know if
Nice.
maybe that's just me.
It wasn't just you.
Okay, I was like,
It wasn't like the worst one I've ever heard, but it's nothing
No.
to write home about.
no. Yeah, and then like their manager had a really weird voice actor as well. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
I didn't like the
No,
Japanese.
I'd say the manager is almost more annoying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just and then I was like, okay, well maybe the English dub is better. No, it's not.
There's an English dub?
I looked at a little bit of that on YouTube, and I was like, oh wow, this is not great.
Do yourself a favor
I
and
quit.
just don't watch the English dub. Just don't. It's painful.
But
I
it's
watched
less work.
5 minutes and I was like, I can't take this anymore.
But it's less work, Veda. I'm all about less work.
Seriously, it's
I
more
don't know, man.
it makes your ears bleed from how bad it is.
Uh,
It's
you know
no.
what? I'm kind of proud of myself. 'cause I feel like
okay.
everything else I've picked for the bad anime has just been like subpar.
mhm.
It sounds like it really tortured you guys, and I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, thanks, Becca.
You're welcome. Mrs. Super Milk Chan. I feel like we've all had like a really good one now at this point.
A really good bad one. maybe?
Yeah.
Well, I've had several, so.
Yeah. Leah's
Sorry, guys.
Leah's still
sorry.
the reigning queen.
I know
So
how to
I don't
pick
know,
the
I
shit
think
ones.
Becca gets the new spot for worst.
This was pretty
I
bad.
made you watch School Days, Liam.
yeah, Bobo was just
This was worse
horrible.
than-
Bobo.
Oh, Bobo.
And what was the other bad one? I don't know. There's been a couple.
There's been a few. Glasslip was pretty
Oh,
bad.
I didn't
Mhm.
watch that.
That was not good. So, are there any wrapping up thoughts? Is there-
Before we do the wrap up, I was just gonna say
go for it.
this is just a stupid writing thing. I don't know. Okay, so I think it's in like the first or second episode.
Mm.
The blonde dude is driving his fancy car because of course he is, and like the pink-haired kid sees the car and is like, oh, I need to stalk him. So
Oh, yeah, I forgot
and
about that.
so the blonde dude is like, revving up to drive, and he starts going, and the pink-haired kid's like, oh, I don't wonder how to grab his attention and get him to stop.
Oh
I'll run
no.
in front of the car. I don't know why you would write that into a show. Like,
Seems
how to
effective.
stop cars, run in front of them. Yes.
Well, arguably the car should stop if you run in front of it.
I mean, he did stop. What if he didn't? Like, this kid just...
The animation, that just, like, all the shots with, like, relative bits of action just showcase how bad the animation is.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then
I-
the blonde guy was Just like, oh, that was so bad, I'm gonna have to kiss you right on the mouth now.
Yeah! He, like, jumps out of the car and he just glares at him, and then he's like, well, I guess we're gonna kiss.
We're gonna talk about mouth kissing in a little bit, I can promise that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Oh,
Mhm.
dear.
Are there gonna be mouth noises provided?
Oh, probably.
Oh, God. Yeah, that was just one of the scenes where I was like, hey, this
Too
is
much.
off to a good start.
Aw.
I'm running away for 1 minute, so either keep stalling or Becca read the description for the good one.
We'll keep
We
stalling.
gotta do the...
Yeah.
Let's
Are
see.
you
Cool.
gonna keep
Final
watching it?
Fuck no. I don't hate myself that much. I'm sorry, but I'm looking at this on my anime list. Somehow this has a 7.28.
You know, I have to wonder if it gets better, because that was, there's, between the two animes we watched today, there's like a 0.4 difference in their score on my anime list, so maybe...
I don't see how Gravitation could get any better. Like, the plot goes nowhere for the first 3 episodes, and they don't explain anything, so it's really confusing.
I think it's only like a 12-episode anime, I believe.
Yeah, it's
I don't have it
something.
in front of me. Yeah, I was gonna
I
ask...
found nothing good about this anime.
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
There's nothing I could find.
Not
in
even the
this
underlying
that
romance slash...
It wasn't romance. It was just, I'm going
It was-
to abuse you with words. Kiss me.
I guess it's a question we should have asked off the very top.
I have returned.
And Leah's back just in time. A question we could have asked off the very top. Is anybody a fan of Shounen Ai animes, or is everybody kind of... Like, is this a genre that you watch very often or not? Because I know I've watched one other one that I actually did really enjoy and own, so...
I don't think I've seen any that, like, that was the actual, like, genre.
Yeah.
Like, I've
I'm
seen
not-
it, kind of, strung about in certain animes, but not ever, like, full on.
Just like
This is,
on
uh,
a strictly Shounen Ai.
Mhm.
Yeah, no.
This is not the genre for me.
I'll
And
remember
that's-
that.
See, I feel like, just, if we're talking generally,
Mhm.
based off the one we watched, it's like, I could see, me liking some of them, I guess.
Mhm.
But I think my bigger issue is I just have to wonder, like, how big the trend is of it being an older male and then a, like, younger
One
male.
I-
Because
That's the
that's the part
Yeah.
I can't get past.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think that's kind of core to the genre. I know I looked up a translation of what the genre is supposed to be, and it's supposed to be about male bonding.
yeah.
Not necessarily romantic speaking, but they all definitely seem like they're leaning towards the romantic aspect. The one that I've watched that I really enjoyed was Loveless.
Oh, yeah.
And it involves, like, fighting and stuff as well, and I really debated putting that one up this week rather than Gravitation, but...
I know I've, like,
oops.
read the description for that one a couple times and, like,
Yeah.
almost went to watch it, and then I won't lie, like, stopped because, like, I knew that it was, like...
Mhm.
Shounen Ai.
Shounen Ai, but I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not, like, ew, like... Love who you want, man, but I don't know. I was kind of hesitant.
Yeah. I would highly recommend it. Like, it is Shounen Ai, but there's also, like, the fighting aspect to it. There's mystery aspect to it. I would suggest Loveless if this is something that you might entertain as a genre that you might enjoy.
I think it probably depends on like what other genres are around the Shounen Ai.
Yeah.
Like if it's something that you will enjoy, like maybe if it's a drama Shounen Ai, maybe that's your thing, or maybe it's a sci-fi.
Yeah.
knows?
And I think it could definitely come down to, like, if it's done well, right? Because if it's something where it's just kind of creepy and you're, like, questioning yourself the entire time you watch it,
Yeah.
probably not going to be my genre.
Yeah.
No, but that was the thing with the Gravitation. I didn't actually know what ages the people were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was hard to tell
Yeah.
whether he was like a high schooler or...
Mhm.
Yeah, because like they introduced the piano kid and the pink-haired kid was all like, "Oh my god, he's 16. He's way too young." And I was like, "I thought you were 16." Okay.
Ah.
I was incorrect.
Do you
So he's
And also
older?
the oh shit, what was it?
Hmm.
The owner of like the record company.
the
It
other
looked like
blonde
they
hair.
it looked like they just copy pasted the pink hair onto her head and turned it blonde. It was like the
Oh, I
like
didn't
exact
notice
same.
that.
Oh, wow.
That wouldn't surprise me though.
Maybe they're related.
No, they're not.
Oh.
Wouldn't
So-
surprise me.
Do we want to do our final wrap-up thoughts? I know Liam said he has zero interest in watching any more of this ever again. Veda?
I said
Did she say she doesn't hate herself that much to do it?
I did. I just don't watch Gravitation, people.
Just
There are
don't.
better shows.
Good.
Liam, what were you gonna say?
Nothing.
Oh,
Are you sure?
I don't want to spend any more time on this show.
I want to hear it. It's going to take a minute to get my other thing up.
Oh, I didn't actually have anything.
Okay.
Oh.
Alright, well, with that, should we move on to the good anime?
Yes.
yes.
Oh, I have a
Alright.
funny story after you introduce it, too.
Okay. Alright, so Leah and I watched the anime called Super Lovers. I picked this one because it is brand new to the spring 2016 anime season, and also I had watched a trailer for it right before it came out, and there was definitely like some questionable intimate touching, and like I said, we're very sensitive about this whole like older guy and like kid thing. So I was like, oh, that's definitely something that needs to be watched. And I picked it as the good anime just because it is more recent and because I felt like it. So the plot is Haru visits Canada to spend his summer vacation in the woodland house of his strict, strong-willed mother, Haruko. She purposely fools him and says that she's on the verge of death just to burden him with the responsibility of taking care of her newly adopted, quote, puppy. That puppy is actually a small, rash, antisocial boy named Ren, who doesn't trust anyone and would prefer to hang out with Haruko's dogs.
Do they like refer to him as a dog throughout the show?
No.
No.
Oh,
They
okay,
do
good.
in the first episode. Spoilers about that. Haruko orders Haru to civilize Ren until the end of summer. As the young man struggles in doing everything, their relationship gradually improves. So far, when Haru graduates high school, he plans on taking his younger brother in Japan, together with his...
He basically wants him to go from Canada to Japan.
Yeah,
live with him.
Wikipedia is dropping the ball.
Sometimes it does that.
He wants to take Ren to live with him in Japan with his two stepbrothers. Unfortunately, a car accident occurs, and Haru's father and stepmother are killed in a car crash, and he's the only one who survives, losing his memories of the past summer.
That escalated
Then we
quickly.
cut to 5 years later. Yeah, no, it was
It does in the
pretty
show,
intense.
too. You're like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah.
But we'll
Wow.
get into that, yeah.
So then 5 years later, Ren comes to Tokyo, Japan, claiming to be Haru's new brother. Will Haru adjust to his new upcoming... This is so badly written. What the fuck? Anyway, it's all about them living together and being brothers. The end. I'm sorry everyone had to listen to that.
You know what? If that was written better, it's
Don't
actually
worry.
a pretty good description of what happens. In the
Yeah.
three episodes, so I
Yeah.
feel like we don't have to overly explain it that much. But,
Yeah. We
You know,
saved us time.
The funny story I had was, so I was in class on Monday,
Hmm.
and I was asking my instructor help. I forgot my calculator at home, so I needed to find one like online to use.
Yeah.
So of course he's looking, like we're both looking at my phone, and he's like, okay, like just look up scientific calculator here.
Hmm.
So I like start looking up scientific calculator, so I type in S, right? And you know how it gives you suggestions?
Oh, boy.
Based off like where you've looked like in your Wi-Fi before.
Yeah.
And it said Super Lovers. And I was
Nice.
just like, oh, he totally saw that. And that's really awkward because he probably thinks it was like me trying to look up porn
Porn or something? Super Lover lasts 10 minutes rather than 5. Congratulations!
Yeah,
Sorry, that
and I
was
was just
rude.
like, oh.
Aw.
I thought it was funny.
You should have been like, I lent my phone to my sister. Yes, my sister.
For next time.
Yeah. That's funny.
Anyway, do you want to get into your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts were in the opening scene, it's like mountains and trees, and it's like just arriving from like the Calgary airport.
I know, I
and
started
I was
nerding
like,
out.
I live there!
Yeah. That was me too. I was like, Calgary, what?
Yeah.
No, when you posted those pictures
Fantastic.
on the chat, I got really excited.
Yeah, I was really excited. I was like, holy shit, this is a new thing. I seriously nerded out for all 3 episodes.
No,
Pretty
no.
cool that they're even like kind of addressing Canada, like it's not the States.
Yeah.
Like, but never mind,
Yeah.
like
You'd never
which,
get that.
You know, we may or may not live in disclosing information.
Oh, whatever. There's a million people in Calgary.
That's true.
Come
yeah.
at me, bros. Like,
We've
whatever.
been talking about Odafest. Come on.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. Anyway, yeah, so I was like, oh my god, I live there, that's so cool, that's so weird. Like,
No.
and it actually looks like Banff.
The funniest part is everything I read about it leading up to this episode never was Canada mentioned once.
Yeah.
Then I go on Wikipedia to look up the plot line, and Canada's like the first thing they mention.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how did this get past me in the first place? But yeah,
I know, because I was surprised. I was like, wait, what?
yeah,
Like, cool.
yeah.
I loved the little Canadian money thing. I
Oh
showed
my
that to my
God.
mom and my
It's so
sister.
realistic.
I know,
Yes.
and they were both like, "Oh my god!" I was like,
Yeah,
"I'm
so like for the listeners, there's this one part where when Ren finally gets to Japan and he's like pulling out his wallet, and he's like, I only have Canadian money, and it's like a $5 bill, and like it looks
It looks exactly like a
to
$5
perfect
bill.
detail.
Yeah, it was
cool.
it was so cool. And then like I only took like a close up shot, but it's like Canadian money. I was like, that's hilarious.
It's amazing."
Yeah, no,
I loved it. I loved it.
like I said, geeked out a little bit. All right, so initial thoughts.
There was
Outside
that. Was my
Canada?
very first initial thought.
Yeah.
And then it's like I liked it and I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it's like I was saying before, like I would go from feeling kind of weird about what was happening
Mm.
to like kind of forgetting about it. Like, and when I say with what's happening, I mean like the whole like
The weird romantic almost aspect.
attraction kind
Yeah.
of between like the older brother and his new younger brother.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not. I mean, they're not technically blood related, so that's not the issue. It's just like.
No.
So Ren at the start of the show has got to be probably what, like 12-ish.
Well, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, when they
Haru
first meet,
is, like 17.
Haru's 17, and I thought Ren was younger, more like
Actually, yeah, he's probably.
like 7 or 8 at the most.
Oh,
Yeah.
He like. Well, didn't she say he was like 6 or something?
Oh,
At some
maybe.
point with something.
I might have missed that.
He's
Yeah.
probably around like anywhere from 8 to 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Like
think.
that youngish, like young boy, not quite a teenager age.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back 5 years later, he's clearly a teenager. So
Yeah, and
that
it is hard, right? Yeah, he's 22.
Yeah, yeah. They say he's 22 in the second episode. So
Mhm.
after the 5-year jump. Yeah.
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 So, I don't know, like, part of me wonders, like, with this anime in general, so I'm just like, is it trying to be a romance, or is it that whole, like, Oni-chan, like,
Okay.
kind of, mentality a lot of animes have?
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, where the siblings do kind of have that
Yeah, that like really
weird
close.
idolization of their
Mhm.
siblings. Well, it's kind of the other way around. It's the older brother who's really, like,
Into the
touchy
younger brother.
and,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
you so much, little brother, to...
Yeah,
Ren.
to Ren, when Ren's just like, please stop getting in my personal space.
Mhm.
I was going to talk about that a bit more in
Yeah.
a little bit, because I had some theories.
Yeah. And we will.
Yeah.
Your initial thoughts?
I kind of liked it. I mean, so, like, all cards on the table, this isn't necessarily an anime that I would go for right, like, initially. But, like I said, I have enjoyed Shounen Ai before. There is definitely that, like, weird, like, I don't know what the tone of this is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be romantic? Is it just, like, the way you interact with younger brothers and sisters? I honestly think maybe it's a cultural difference, and I think that's kind of what they're trying to highlight.
That's kind of what I was trying to get across.
Yeah,
Was that I'm not sure.
yeah. And I think they're kind of trying to highlight the cultural difference by basing the one character out of Canada, so we see kind of like an outsider's perspective.
Mhm.
I think I might watch at least a couple more episodes, because it leaves... There's going to be more Canada, so I have to watch at least a couple
Yeah, I'm
episodes.
curious if he ends up permanently in Canada, but we'll get to that
Yeah,
after.
yeah. So let's get into it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I still am so excited that it was set, like, part of it in
I
Canada.
know.
Although,
I fangirled, so I was like,
so
oh
here's the thing I was interested about that, though, is, like, they make it look like, because they say, like, he goes 3.5 hours away from Calgary Airport, which is a very, like, specific distance.
Mhm.
But then the entire parts in Canada are set out in, like, the middle of the mountains in the wilderness.
Yeah, so
his-
he's in, like, Lake Louise or something.
Yeah, his crazy mom that, like, they didn't really clearly define the family roles of, like, why the family is so weird. So he's out visiting his mom, and, like, she has a pack of, like, 5 dogs that look like wolves. Like, they make it seem like Canada's basically a vast wilderness where only this one woman lives.
well, that's the stereotype.
That's what it is, Becca.
But for myself, I'm like, but we have a couple other things. Like, we've got a tower and stuff. We're not completely just mountains.
Well, that's why they focus on saying, like, the Calgary airport. Because they're like, okay, we addressed their civilization slightly. Let's move on.
They have a single airport, guys. They've got this covered.
Yep.
I'm just impressed that they even got that specific and picked a place.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I'm surprised they picked Calgary.
Yeah, of all places.
Would have thought they
Well, I mean, if they wanted the wilderness,
Yeah.
like, it's pretty
Yeah.
good. Because, let's face it, people are probably going to know Calgary more than, like, if they went to the BC side of the Rockies.
Yeah, well then it would be like Vancouver, and Vancouver doesn't really have quite the same sort of setting,
No.
right?
Yeah.
And Toronto definitely not.
Yeah, no God.
Toronto's
But
way over there.
but it's so beautifully rendered. Like, the mountains look so, like, they're drawn, but they're so pretty. It's almost, it's not Studio Ghibli quality, but it's getting up there. It looks really nice. The whole anime actually looks
The
really
animation
nice.
is really nice in
Yeah.
general, actually. It's
Well, that's
pretty
good.
Yeah.
As expected from 2016.
Can we clarify a really big misconception for the Japanese people listening right now? I don't think we have orphanages in Canada, do we?
Right, I thought about that too. Okay, so like the first episode, Haru goes to visit his. So first off, let's back up kind of what Becca was saying before about the family structure.
All back.
So Haru, the main character, is going to visit his maternal mother who lives in Canada.
Yes.
She's a writer. Yeah.
Yeah, she's half Japanese, half American, is what I understood as well.
Yeah. And so basically, it's kind of insinuated that whatever, her and his father like divorced.
Yeah.
Now she's back in Canada. That's fine. Whatever. He did grow up there a little bit though. Like he would go back and forth.
5 years, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then back in Japan, he has his dad, his stepmom, and then they had 2 twins together.
Yeah. So the
or maybe
twin
not together.
brothers.
What the twins belonged to the stepmother.
No, I thought that the twin brothers were actually related because then the mother said, later on.
Because remember they make it. It's the sorry. What I got from it is when he came back from like living with his mom in Canada, his dad was like, here's your new brothers.
Okay.
And they were still like kids.
Yeah.
And remember he had to work to like have them accept him.
Yeah, but that was
he was always trying to like take care of them.
That's why I was curious because he says that he spent like 5 years living with his mother in Canada. So I kind of assumed that it was like after his parents would have divorced and his dad would have went off and met his new his stepmother, and then they may have had the twins. I don't know. That's where I'm like the whole,
that's true.
The whole
that's true.
family storyline isn't really explained outright, so it's really confusing at first because he goes to visit his mother. At his mother's place, there's the gentleman that drives him up to the house. That hangs around and is like in the house, and then there's another couple that just shows up that never really is explained. Like there's a couple different. I was just like, I don't understand how everybody's related, and I just want to know how everyone's related so I can move on. That really bugged me because I was like, it'd just be nice if it was like explicitly stated what the hell is going on right now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange mix-up.
You gotta work at it. You gotta watch all 3 episodes to get all that background. Because at first I was like, I don't understand why he's living with the Japanese couple in Japan if his mother's in Canada. Like, why would the mother send him off to go live with a bunch of strangers? It was only like afterwards that I was like, oh, that's his dad.
Yeah.
Whoops.
But yes, the whole point of that was just the whole orphanage thing.
Yes.
So yeah, they established that so he's going to see his mom in Canada, whatever, and then there's this random kid there, and she's like, oh, all the kids at the orphanage, he didn't get along with them, blah, blah, blah. And I stopped and did the same thing, too. I'm like, orphanage?
Yeah, I was like...
Which made it sound so casual, too. Like, it's just the city orphanage.
Like, we send all of our children without parents to, a big building to go be miserable for the rest of their lives.
I actually don't know if we have them, or if we just have, housing...
Well,
or foster homes.
I thought it was usually foster homes, even if it's, a temporary situation where there's maybe, a bunch of kids there. It's always a foster home with, a mom and a dad to take care of them, at least. Mm-hmm. So, heads up, Japanese listeners. We don't do that orphanage thing, I don't think. I don't have verifiable proof. But we don't do that anymore.
Real solid answer.
Yeah.
I like it.
We do foster families, too. Come on. We're not completely wild.
I'm gonna look this up.
I mean, I know we did, horrible orphanages in our past to to, like, especially the First Nation people.
Maybe we should not go there right
Yeah.
now.
Canada's dirty, too.
If you look up Calgary Orphanage in Google, there are 2. They're not called orphanages. It's like Children's Cottage Society.
Yeah, like, I could see, like, maybe if it was something run through, like, a church or something, where it's an orphanage by design, but, like, I don't know.
Who knows?
Luckily, I've never had to look into this before, so, you know. Yep. Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on. I wrote down, like, a bunch of notes. Oh, that was my favorite part about when they're explaining where Ren came from. They were like, "You're Japanese? He's Japanese. He's all yours now." I was like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, so, like, basically the whole first episode is just, like, Haru trying to, like, get onto Ren's good side and, like, get him to, like, you know, see him as an older brother, and there's some pretty typical, like, anime tropes there. Like, the main character making Ren lunch and, like, trying to be really nice to him, and then Ren's like, "No, I can be by myself, whatever," and then...
Right.
But it was still cute, like, it was done well, but, like, I don't have too much to talk about with the first episode.
Honestly, the most I brought out of it is, like, it almost seems like a really sweet relationship he builds with Ren.
Until it gets weird at the end.
Yeah, well, and that's where I come back to, like, maybe it's just a cultural issue, because they address it right in the episode, where, like, he goes to kiss Ren, and he kisses him right on the mouth, and it's, like, done the same way as, like, they do, like, the romantic shots in, regular, like, guy-girl anime, so it's, like, from behind, and you don't actually see their faces, and the background gets all blurry and, like, flowery and stuff, so it comes off romantic in that way. But then Ren's like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" And Haru's like, "Well, don't you kiss in this culture to, like, welcome one another?"
See, but it's hard because, like, well, and then Ren's like, "No, like, you kiss on the cheeks," and that's, like, French people.
Yeah.
But it's hard because there's certain parts in the anime when they have moments like that where I'm like, part of me is like, do they actually... Like, are they actually blaming it on the culture, or are they using that, like, as an excuse to get away with kind of doing this? Or are they doing it so then it's kind of like the viewer can take it as they will? Like, if you want this to be romantic, then cool. If you want it to just be, like, cute, older, younger brother, then do that too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure. Because, like, there's a lot of parts, like, you know, like, for example, that one scene where they kiss and then, like, the flowers pop up in the corners of the screens and stuff. Like, if that hadn't been there, I would have been a little less, like...
uncomfortable about it.
Yeah. But they did.
The age difference. It definitely...
That's the age... That's the whole thing. I couldn't give a shit less that they're both guys. It's just the age thing. I'm kind of like...
Yeah, and it's... Like I said, once again, I don't know, and maybe we could have done a bit more research on this. I don't know what the
culturally?
Like, I don't
know
culturally what the if there's any issues with, like, age differences in Japan, where if they do or don't, like, I seem to recall, like, older men will marry younger women. That tends to happen a lot in cultures. So that's where I'm like you said, it's almost left to the viewer's discretion, but I definitely feel like it leans more to the romantic aspect, or at least, like,
I would agree.
The intimate aspect. Like, there's parts where they're in bed together, like, just sleeping next to one another. And like, I thought back to, one time I went camping with Adam's family, and his youngest sister got scared, and I was on the bottom bunk, so, like, she slept with me, and it wasn't any sort of romantic thing, it was just she was scared, and I was like, well, come sleep with me, because you don't have to crawl up on the bunk with, like, your brother or something.
You're not full-on spooning, are you?
No.
And, like, you know...
And it's more of, like, a nurturing aspect than, like, a romantic aspect, and, I kind of wish they would have went more towards the nurturing side. Like I said, I agree, it's like, when the flowers pop up, it's like, what's going on? Like, what direction is this going? I don't feel comfortable, especially because it's supposed to be a brother relationship. I don't know. I felt uncomfortable about that. Did you watch all the way to the end of the credits on the first episode?
No.
Okay. I didn't either until I got to the second episode, and they were like... Haru was like, "Oh, when I was in that accident 5 years ago," I was like, "What?" So I went back, and at the very end of the first episode, there's a, like, 20-second clip of him in the wreckage of the crash to basically set up for the next...
Because to, like, launch into the second episode, it's like, so you have that first, like, kind of sweet first episode, we were like, okay, this is about what I expected.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And like that episode ends with like Haru being like, you know,
I'm going to Japan.
one
I'll
day
see you
I
in a
want
couple
you
years.
to come live with me in Japan, like
Yeah.
as a promise.
Yeah.
And then the second episode opens to literally all of a sudden it's like, by the way, he was in a car accident, forgot all of his memories. Both his parents died terribly. His twin brothers blamed him, younger brothers blamed him for a time.
He has no recollection of that summer prior.
Yeah, and now he works
didn't-
in a host club.
Yeah, his mom didn't even come to see him when he was like in the wreck. Like, it was bad enough he had to stay at a home for a while to recover. And I was like, why didn't his mother come over? But
They put that whole part at like the end of the first episode.
No, the beginning of the second.
beginning
one.
of the second
Oh,
episode.
okay. I was like, this is the after the credits.
They set
I was
up
really
the,
confused.
They set up the crash after the credits on the first episode, but it's literally just like him laying in the wreckage, being like, "What the hell just happened?" And then it cuts.
Oh,
And then
okay.
second episode they explain it, and you I thought it was really funny
okay.
though, because it like opens up with somebody commenting to him, or a couple girls commenting to him about how mean he is to everyone,
Mhm.
and he definitely is a gigantic dick. Like,
So they're just calling him on his shit.
yeah, well, and like
See, I didn't really think he was like.
I thought he was I wrote in my notes, at first I was like, he's a bit of a dick, and then I scratched it out later, and I was like, no, he's a huge dick.
The only thing I found where he was a huge dick is when he like leaves Ren, but we can get into
Yeah,
that
we can talk about that.
afterwards.
So, I had a question about hosts.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding, because I've watched Orancha, whatever,
High School.
yeah, that one, I can never say the name properly. Hosts, they're kind of like escorts, but not sexy, right? Or like not like you don't get intimate with them later on, but their full intention is to like be there and be attractive to the women, and give them
And
a
like
good
spend time with you. Yeah, exactly.
and make you feel special, and then they leave.
Mhm.
So it's not like
Yeah.
he's a gigolo or a call boy or anything.
No.
But he definitely is like selling himself.
Yeah, and
in a
often
certain
they'll
way.
pick more of like a persona
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So
And for him, it's not like he leaves; it's the women like go to the bar, club,
Yeah.
place he works at, or whatever.
yeah.
Mhm.
So that was just something I wanted to clarify, because I was like, it's kind of like an escort, but he seems too old to be.
Yeah, and then you find out he's
Like-
only 22, and you think he's like 30.
Yeah, yeah. He's timelines are weird in animes.
Yeah,
If somebody could
it's true.
fix that. That would be great. All right, that was one of my notes. I also want to talk a little bit about a stalker, because there was a
Yeah.
stalker in this episode.
So hold on. So basically, all of a sudden, like he gets a call from his lawyer to like go to her office, and he goes there, and then Ren's there, and is like, "I'm keeping my promise. I'm coming to live with you."
Mhm.
And then you find out that his parents that died, like Haru, the main character, they had actually like adopted Ren, and they were gonna like surprise Haru, being like, you know, we adopted him as your brother,
Mhm.
and they were like literally having that discussion in the car when the like crash happened.
Mhm. Yeah, that's kind of the tragedy of the whole thing when I think about it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty sad.
Yeah, I was like, there's a lot of people dying just for the sake of the story getting set up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even the dogs die. At some point in the episode, it's like
Yeah.
mentioned that the dogs had passed because they're old dogs. But I was like, my notes legitimately say there's an awful lot of tragedy to set up this plot. Even the dogs die to fuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
But, like, just even his background story, how, like, because he's part North American, all the kids, or for Haru's background story, because he's part North American, he has really bright green eyes and blonde hair, and kids used to pick on him about his eyes and tell him he was creepy and stuff. So it's kind of like a trigger for him. At one point, Ren comments that his eyes are different, and he, like, Haru freaks the fuck out and, like, runs away, because he's like, my eyes aren't that different! And it felt a little bit like overblowing a situation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Where am I
Yeah,
going with
so
this?
the stalker though, so basically before that, long story short, like obviously Haru like takes Ren home with him because he's like, okay, well I guess you're living with me, I'll have to deal with this. He keeps it a secret from his twin brothers, who he is like still in touch with.
See, that was the thing that really pissed me off, because, like, they addressed that right in the episode. He's like, I don't know how I'm going to tell my brothers about you. And Ren is like, just tell them I'm your brother, you idiot.
Mhm.
And Haru's like, no, that's not going to work. And then he just locks him in a bathroom and leaves him there.
I know.
Like,
Oh my
What?
god.
yeah, like, I
Well,
was
okay,
what the fuck?
no. So what happens is sorry, he's like nervous to like tell his like twin brothers because
They'll be
like
surprised. and-
their parents had adopted a son that they didn't know about, and that
Mhm.
they'd be like jealous and stuff. So he hears them knocking at the door, being like, like, take us for food, and he kind of shoves Ren into the bathroom, like, don't come out until I say it's safe.
Mhm.
And then he just wasn't thinking and leaves and goes out for dinner with his brothers, but I don't think he thought that Ren would actually like stay in there the entire time.
See, it wasn't
Because
even.
when he comes home, he comes with food and is,
Yeah.
like, oh, Ren, like, where are you? Like, are you in bed? Like, this, that, and the other. And then Ren actually stayed in like the closet the whole time.
I think for me, it's just the aspect that he just left him completely to begin with. Like, regardless of him being
that
in
I
the
agree with.
bathroom, I
Yeah.
was like, what the hell are you doing? This poor kid, like, has shown up on your doorstep, and your reaction is to just run away for the evening and leave him there. And this happens more than, like, this happens again in the next
Mhm.
episode. He just leaves this, like, 12 to, like, 13-year-old kid all by himself, being like, you're old enough you can take care of yourself, no problem, like, you've got this handled, buddy. Meanwhile, the kid has lived in Canada his entire life. Like, how would he even know how to start in Japan? Like, it made me really uncomfortable. I felt really bad for Ren. I was like, this kid didn't ask for anything. There's indications that he had, like, a really traumatic, childhood before he went to the orphanage about, like, he has, like, cigarette burns.
Well, I think they made that sound like that was even at the orphanage.
Yeah, he has, like, cigarette burns on the bottom of his feet and stuff from being physically abused by people.
Wow.
So the fact that he, like, gets this kid, and regardless of if he thought the kid would come out of the bathroom or not, he, like, shoves him in there because he doesn't want to tell people immediately. And I'm like, you're supposed to be the adult here, like...
See, and then what I didn't like is eventually the twin brothers do find out. And the one brother is automatically like, no, like, I won't accept him, like,
Yeah.
he's
yeah.
not my brother, like, get rid of him, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's such an unrealistic, like, response.
It started to feel a lot like a soap opera, where it's, like, over-exaggerated responses. And that was where I was like, if you, like, it's not that I hated it, it's just, it was really over the top and really
But to me,
sad.
it kind of, like, brings it back to that whole, like, it's like they're trying to make it a romance, only it's between brothers.
Yeah.
Like an actual bromance, you know what I mean? Like...
You can't love him!
Mhm.
Not that one! Yeah, no, weird tone.
It sounds like it got pretty dark for what it is.
It does get
It
quite
is and
dark.
it's not at the same time.
Oh, no, well, yeah, well, that's part of it, too. Is,
But, like, just, like, parts of it.
yeah, no, we haven't even gotten to the really fucked up part,
Oh, yeah.
in my mind.
Okay.
It gets worse.
Yeah, so...
Tell me.
You know how Haru... Did we lose Liam?
Yeah.
No, I'm still here.
Liam's like, I'm not
We're
listening to
talking
any
too
of you,
much.
I don't care.
So Haru works at Host
I'm
Club,
just
right?
like interested in how dark it's getting, but at the same time, like,
Hold on
yeah.
to your
Not fall
hats.
good
Yeah,
to sleep.
hold on.
Yeah.
So, because Haru works at a host
Take
club, he's got this one woman who's, like, slowly become, like, even more and more of a regular,
And
to the point where, like, she literally
is stalking
like,
him.
is stalking him. Like,
Yeah.
she will come every day to see if he's there.
Like,
and,
light
like,
was there.
ended up, like, quitting her job so she could, like, be there
Yeah.
during his shifts.
Yeah, when she's first introduced in episode 2, it's like light stalking, like she's showing
Yeah.
up at all times and giving him gifts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Episode 3, it turns into like dark, scary stalking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because,
Sorry,
like, she
continue.
offers to, like, help Haru get Ren into, like, a good school, or
Mhm.
just a school, whatever. And then he's like, no, like, it's fine, because you can tell he, like, senses that she's, like, kind of crazy.
She's stepping over the line of what's
Yeah.
expected, yeah. But
Mhm.
they kind of bond a little bit too, because she has a younger sister, and they talk about like younger siblings and taking
See,
care
I
of
didn't
them.
really see that as bonding. I saw that as him just, like, being a host.
Well, and it might be her a little bit like manipulating the situation as well, but like you can see that she's trying to make that connection with him.
Mhm.
Like she's got the hots for him big time.
Yeah. So, basically, at some point, I don't even remember why, Haru gets, like, completely, like, obliterated, wasted.
I think
And,
it's
like-
he starts thinking about
Right.
like his past and stuff and the
Yeah.
car crash.
Yeah, so he goes out and he gets really drunk with
Fucked
his
up.
friend from, like, the host club, and he, you know, stumbles in home, like, all drunk, and, like, Ren's, like, trying to help him and, like, get him to bed, and then Haru's like, no, like, I'm going to stay with my friend for a couple days. Like, it's bad for you to see me like this, and it's Christmas time, and this is going to be happening a lot more, so I'll just leave. Take my wallet.
Yeah, here's my wallet.
Yourself.
Bye.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So then he leaves, whatever, to go stay at his friend's place. Conveniently, the stalker chick is going to his place at the same time. So she finds Ren there, like, all alone.
Yeah.
And, like, doesn't believe Ren when he says that, like, Haru's not home. So she, like, barges in and is, like...
keeps calling him a liar and gets progressively irate about Haru not being there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then ends up, like, trying to strangle Ren.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Yes.
So, but thankfully,
What?
Haru's twin brothers
Show up? Yeah.
And ironically, it's the one brother. Isn't it the one brother who said he hated Ren, who called and was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Get your ass over here."
Both of them give him shit.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it comes back to, like, it's a 12-year-old child and you're just gonna leave him for, like, 3 or 4 days because you can't handle your shit? Like, be the goddamn parent! Be the adult! Be the adult!
Wow.
Yeah, and she tries to strangle him. So when he gets there, she's still in the room. And all I remember, I've written down, is shoes on equal evil, because there's a line somewhere in there where somebody yells at somebody else, they're like, take your shoes off and deal with that girl! And I was like, oh yeah, taking your shoes off is the issue right now. Like...
Well,
It's
taking
important.
your shoes off is a lot more important in Japan.
I know that,
Yeah.
but it's just like, the girl is
Like,
like...
just saying too much, like,
This, like, grown woman is strangling Ren, and they're like, take your shoes off! And I was just like, get
Okay.
the woman
Priorities.
off! Like, come on! Like, you can clean up the dirt, it'll be fine. But, yeah, I had to comment. That was my comment. Yeah, I was paying attention.
And then, I was gonna say really quickly, because we've given, like, pretty thorough descriptions of basically the entire 3 episodes.
Yeah, we're...
Just to, like, round off the description so we can kind of just talk about it more in general. Long story short, Ren ends up being like, I'm going back to Canada because I'm causing you too much trouble.
Yeah.
So he flies back to Canada, and then at the end of the 3rd episode, Haru also flies to Canada and is, like, in the bed, like, hugging him, being like, you know...
I love you so much, don't go away, I'm going to take care of you forever. See, I found in that episode, Haru's really hot and cold.
Yeah.
Like, he's very much like, oh, I'm gonna be a burden on your life, I can't be here, like, don't be around me. And then the minute Ren is like, I'm going back to Canada, because obviously I'm fucking your life up here, and he's a 12-year-old that can just make that decision. There's inconsistencies. But then Haru's like, no, I love you, you have to stay here, you're my brother, I'm gonna take care of you forever. And it's just like, pick one or the other, like, you can't do that, especially to a kid, well, whatever.
Well, I think it's because he, like, realized after the whole, like, stalker situation, like, that he actually did care about him, and that, like...
Yeah.
Okay, but then there's that scene, so Ren doesn't tell Haru he's going back to Canada until he's, like, already at the airport, and he calls him being like, hey, like...
Bye.
I'm catching a flight here, basically.
Yeah.
But then he's, like, he tells Haru that he likes him.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, like, Skidas, like... It just made me, like... wonder, like, okay, is he, like, actually confessing some, like, crush feelings?
That's, like, a more, I love you, right?
It's more of a, like, lower form of saying you like someone. Like, in anime, often, if someone's, like, you know, like, Skidas, it's usually like, oh, I have, like, a crush on you, or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're saying, like, oh my god.
Like, outright confession of love.
I don't remember. I can't help you, it's been so long.
Aishiteru or whatever.
It's something.
Aishiteru.
Aishiteru, yeah.
Anyway, that's like, I love you. Like, that's a big deal. Like, so the way he said it was like a little of a lower form, but basically, I just confused him. Like, okay, so is he saying he's like a crush on him? Is he saying like, just, you know, I like you as a person? That's my leaving? Like, I don't know. It was kind of confusing.
Yeah. I definitely got the feeling, because, like, especially with the way Haru goes about with Ren, like, when he's warm with Ren, he's very warm and very nurturing and very, like, cuddly and intimate and, like, invested in the kid being taken care of. And then the minute he's not invested in the kid being taken care of, he's really cold, where he's very much like, don't talk to me, go sit in the bathroom, like, very two weird personalities, and that, I found that really unsettling. And I'm assuming it's due to the trauma in his childhood.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's because it's, like, who he, like, turned out as a person to, like, the subconscious who still, like, remembers.
Well, and everybody keeps, like, saying, you know, you two are gonna get along because you both have similar pasts where you had really hard pasts and stuff like that. Like, that's kind of what some people say, and it feels like it's implying that the reason why they're going to bond is because they both suffered through their younger lives and will kind of pull each other through their current state of
They also make it sound like he's just a very, like, doting older brother, too, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's working to, like, send his younger brothers to school, and it's clear that his, like, younger twin brothers are really, like, he's my brother.
Yeah, they're quite protective of him and, like, very close when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ren goes to Canada, and 2 months later, Haru follows him to Canada, and we end episode 3 with Ren laying in bed with, like, the dogs, the 3 that are left out of the 5 that were there originally in episode 1, and Haru comes in and basically, like, jumps on Ren and is all like, I love you! Like, I'm here! We're gonna stick around! I'm gonna get a job on a ranch! It's gonna be great!
Wow.
Yeah.
Which makes me almost want to watch more, because I'm like, how are they going to portray someone working on a ranch in a Japanese anime?
In Canada.
I'm curious.
Everybody works on a ranch in Canada.
I'm just curious how much longer they stay in Canada. Cause
That's what I'm
came
wondering too.
back to Canada,
I would be really impressed if the rest of the anime took place in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be pretty astounded, actually.
I have a feeling it's not going to, but
I don't think so
I don't
either.
know. It gave me like special patriotic feelings where I was like, Canada is pretty great, guys. Like,
I feel like
we're
it's going
cool.
to turn into, like, he's going to try and work on the ranch and fail terribly, and then Ren will be like, let's go back to Japan.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking where it might go as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to list off one more of my notes from episode 3. It says, Ren is Jesus confirmed. I think that's because he, like, gets sick at one point and then he comes back and he's all fine.
Oh,
Writes Jesus.
There you go.
Notes.
That's true.
What are your final thoughts then?
Like I said, I quite like it. I think, like, there is that weird tone issue.
Mm-hmm.
But part of me is willing, as a viewer, I'm kind of willing to dismiss it as a cultural difference and keep watching. I think if it becomes more romantic without everybody aging a bit, I'm gonna feel uncomfortable about it. But right now, like I said, I kind of want to watch more just to see how long they stay in Canada. Maybe we get to see, like, a Calgary skyline or something. That would be really exciting. I know that's, like, the wrong...
moose.
I know it's the wrong reason to watch an anime. Oh, they get chased by a bear in episode 1. It's like just like a scene of them, like, running away from the bear and the bear behind them, like, Murr! But I was like, stupid Japanese
only they knew
tourists.
how that would go in real life.
Yeah, there would be no running. There'd just be blood and death.
And death.
And so much death. Stay away from the bears. They're not cuddly. So I'm probably gonna watch a couple more episodes. I have high hopes. It's such a nice looking anime too.
It is pretty.
I'm curious what happens with the stalker. Like, there's a bunch of little threads that I'm curious to see where it goes.
I don't know. For me, it's kind of the same thing. Like, the tone kind of confuses me on it, whether it's cultural or if they're aiming for it to be romantic or if they're not, or if it's just the whole, like, older sibling, younger sibling idolization kind of fan service part. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. That's only been 3 episodes, but
yeah. I do think the show is only 12 episodes. Just
I don't know, just a mixture of that tonal confusion and just that the whole storyline in general is not really enough to keep me invested. I probably won't keep watching it. That said, I want Becca to tell me if there is a Calgary skyline in there, or, you know, how long the Canada reference keep going, because I think that's really cool. Like, I've never seen that in an anime before, like, ever.
It's always there somewhere in America, but it's often implied the United States. So
and then I'm also afraid that this is going to be an anime that kind of, like, how can this really end, right?
Yeah, well, and I wonder if it's going to become, like, a slice of life where...
And that's why... That's what I meant by, like, there's nothing else in the story really keeping me there. Because I'm sure other dramatic stuff will happen, but at the end of the day, it's still, like, a slice of life anime, and...
I definitely expect it to be, like, a soap opera-y slice of life. Like, people are gonna get outraged over stupid shit, and then not respond correctly to other stupider shit. So...
And then they're still gonna be together and, like, in love the other day.
Yeah.
Or who knows, maybe one of them will die because they seem to like killing things.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Like I said, it's just like the first 2 episodes, I'm like, holy crap, everyone's dropping like flies. You could be the George R. R. Martin of anime.
There you go.
Like this
Yes.
character? Too bad he's gone.
I wonder if they'll ever make a Game of Thrones anime.
You know what? I would kind of be interested.
They probably never get rights to it, though.
I would also watch Harry Potter anime.
Me too.
Yeah.
I would. There's a lot of North American stuff I would
Yep.
watch as animes. Yep.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I would watch the shit out of Harry Potter anime though.
Oh, so much.
So good.
Right into my eyeballs.
Yeah.
That would
Alright.
lend itself to the anime format. Good.
Mm-hmm.
The whole Shounen Ai thing, the way when you guys were describing the super lovers, it sounded, like it could be pretty good. But you know how I like to watch anime. I like to watch things with a lot of science fiction or a lot of fantasy
Mhm.
most of the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like we made it
I don't
sound
think
really
a lot of even if there was a Shounen Ai that have science fiction themes in it, I don't think it would be as good as something
Like
that
a
was
pure
just like more
science
focused
fiction
on the
show.
science fiction. Like
Yeah.
I just wouldn't get as much out
like
of it.
Liam
That's-
needs
I feel
that
like we
fanfic.
made it. Yeah, I feel like we made it sound like interesting and dramatic, but then at the same time, when you actually go and watch it, it is and it's not. And
See-
you're kind of, for me, I was too distracted by trying to decide what tone they were going for
Yeah.
to really like you, for example, where you're like, Haru's such an asshole, blah blah blah. Like, I don't know, I didn't really get a whole lot of emotions invoked the way I should have. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think I was so busy trying to be like,
Yeah, well, and I was very invested. I was like, I know there's going to be confusing thoughts about, like, what's going on between them, like, intimately, but just, like, base level of how you treat other people. I was really outraged about the part where he just left Ren, not once, but twice in, like, a short period.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you not learn the first time? Anyway, that...
my problem
like,
is often when I watch like anime and TV, I'm only so invested.
Yeah.
It's mainly my brain kind of being like fuzz and being like, okay,
Well,
I can do this.
The other thing, too, is if they were perfect characters, there wouldn't be a story to tell. It would be very boring.
Oh no, of course, exactly.
I wasn't bored while watching it. Like,
Neither was I.
like
I wasn't bored.
if you're into Shounen Ai, I think this is one of the better quality ones. From like my brief experience watching stuff. Like I said, it looks so nice. Like the quality is there, and the quality is really good. Even the intro and outro. Usually, I'm kind of like indifferent to intros and outros, and this one, I was like, I would watch the intro a couple more times at least because it's just so pretty. And I think that there'll be other characters introduced to make it more interesting and to change the storyline up a bit. I'm quite curious because Haru was the host, if they're going to introduce like a female character to give him
There
a
is,
romantic
like-
angle.
Well, and that's the other thing. We were trying to give our final thoughts, and we just keep going. It does mention that he like sleeps with women and like prefers women and like this, that, and the other. So it kind of deters from the whole like if he's actually wanting to be like romantically involved with Ren or not. So I kind of think it is just that like
Really
weird
doting.
brother
Yeah.
Shonen Ai doting brother thing.
Well, and it might be a matter too of just his character in general. He's never had the chance to show people that kind of enthusiasm about them being part of his family, so maybe he just isn't doing it quite right, and that's part of the charm of him, is that he's really overexcited about the people he loves. Anyway,
Yeah.
final thoughts. If you're into Shounen Ai, I would really recommend checking this one out if you haven't already. I was definitely looking at some of the comments on GoGo Anime, and everybody there seemed really excited about watching it, so
That's good.
yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
GoGo Anime. Anyway, on to the marble draw. So this week we're kind of changing things up a little bit with summer
For the
coming.
next 3 weeks.
Yeah, with summer coming, a couple of us are going away for a few weeks, but we don't want to stop recording. So next week Veda will be missing because she has to go to somewhere else. I don't even know where. She's not taking me, so I don't care. And then Liam will be leaving us for the 2 weeks following that. I don't know where he's going either because he's not taking me and I don't care. So what we're going to do is we're still going to do the marble draws. Whoever gets the red marble will watch both the good and bad anime, just the first 2 episodes of each, to kind of make it still equal split. And then whoever draws the red marble also gets to decide who's watching the good anime and who's watching the bad anime solely, so we can have a bit of discussion on either side. Liam picked for this week the animes.
Yep.
So do we want to do marble draw first? Alright.
We always do.
Yeah, just forget all the
So
time.
Beta will not be getting a
Yeah.
marble this week.
I'll go
Veda does-
Nope. I'm
Liam
sad.
goes first. Liam gets a white marble. Do you want to go next, Leah? You know, I suppose I should take one of the white marbles out so that, you know...
Everybody gets a white marble.
You know what, I'm going to
Yay!
restart. Liam, you get a white marble still. Sorry about that. Leah, you get also a white marble. Which
I
means
haven't been the red marble in so long.
I will be lucky number red. You'll probably luck out the other 2 weeks, though. I feel like our chances are better, because...
That's true.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna let Liam watch the good anime, and I'm gonna make Leah watch the bad anime. Yeah, you're welcome.
Revenge.
Yeah.
I've been watching the good anime for a couple weeks, I guess it's okay.
It's time to shake things up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll give it to Liam, just because he's picking. So what are we watching?
Well, there's a few different ways I could go with this. I guess the theme for this week, let's go with that. The theme for this week is seinen, which is kind of like the opposite of shonen. Well, maybe not the opposite of shonen. It's like where shonen is manga and anime marketed to young boys. Seinen is marketed to like
adult
people in their late teens or into their
adolescent
30s.
boys and men.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Wikipedia page says it's aimed at men into their 50s, but
Whoa.
it doesn't really. Yeah, it doesn't really match up with other things I've read.
What are men after 50 supposed to watch?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
They just become really sad and they don't get to watch anime.
They get
They just
nothing.
read books.
Their lives
They
are
just
done.
read books and cough.
Yeah.
Says it's
Typical.
Urban Dictionary says it's a type of manga or anime that focuses on an audience of men from the ages of 18 to 30-ish.
Okay.
Well, I'm
Good
kind of
old
like
Urban Dictionary.
I fall into that age gap, and I can pretend I have a penis. So hit me, Liam.
So you're watching the bad and the good, right?
Yeah. So I'm.
Just start with whatever you
Okay,
want.
Yeah.
so
How do we want to do it?
The bad one is 009-1,
Huh.
or it could be pronounced 009-1, who knows. I've never heard of this anime before. This is the first time I'm reading the synopsis after a very specific formula and algorithm I used to pick it.
I
Were
feel
you
like
gonna say something, Becca?
I feel like I've seen the title card for this before. It's like a 0 and it's not like written out 009. It's like a 0, like the character.
The entry on my anime list is
The number.
009-1.
Okay, I think, like I said, I think I've seen the logo for it or something. Okay.
Anyways, so Mylene Hoffman, a beautiful cyborg spy with the code name 009-1, lives in an alternate world where the Cold War never ended, continuously ongoing for 140 years. The world is split into two factions, the West and the East Bloc. A masquerade of peace between the two is slowly dissipated as conflict occurs. Through politics, the two factions battle over supremacy, over technology, to threats of a nuclear attack. Yeah, this grammar issue again. Whatever.
Maybe we're just
Got
really
it.
bad at reading.
We are.
That gives you a
You
general
should probably
idea of what
screen
it
these,
is.
I guess.
I feel like I do though.
I never do.
I read them in my head and I'm like, sounds good. Then I try to read them out loud and I'm like, God damn it!
Yeah,
Why don't
it
these words
happens.
string together properly? Sorry, Liam, you were talking.
So and that gives you a pretty good idea of
Cool.
what that one is.
It sounds like a Liam
there's
kind of show.
Fancy.
There's two different ones I wanted to pick for the good anime. It was hard for me to pick one, but I think I'll go with Tokyo Ghoul for the good anime.
Ooh.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Has
Good
been-
choice.
Yeah. You haven't seen it, have you, Leah?
Well, I'm watching the bad one.
Have you seen it though?
You
No, I've seen a little bit, not a lot.
I've heard of this one.
Oh,
but
so
I read
Becca's
manga.
I'm gonna
so
watch
me and
both.
Becca are watching the good one,
Yeah,
and then you're also watching the bad one. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I
Okay,
get to
so
watch all
Tokyo
the
Ghoul.
things.
Tokyo has become a cruel and merciless city, a place where vicious creatures called ghouls exist alongside humans. The citizens of this once great metropolis live in constant fear of these bloodthirsty savages and their thirst for human flesh. However, the greatest threat to these ghouls pose is their dangerous ability to masquerade as humans and blend in with society. So I've had this one on my list for a while. I've seen a couple trailers. It looks pretty cool.
I feel like we've mentioned this one a few times or something.
Yeah, it's decently popular.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
The
I'm
other one I
excited.
really wanted to pick was Serial Experiments Lane.
Ooh,
but
I've
I've
heard
already
about that one.
seen it.
Me too.
I've already seen it, so if I was doing the bad one, I probably would have picked it.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
been
Fair
been
enough.
long enough since I've watched it, and now I've got kind of a better appreciation and knowledge of that kind of stuff. I could probably watch it again, but
I watched...
save it till next time. So none of you pick it. It's
Yeah.
mine.
Okay. Pick Serial Experiment Lane while Liam is gone. I just wrote it out.
Yeah, I've had that one on my list for ages, and I've never gotten to it.
I watched...
I've actually never heard
It's,
of it.
Go
it's
ahead.
a lot to take in, but
Yeah, I've heard.
We watched an episode of it in one of my, like, big final communication classes in college, because we were talking about, like, people's portrayal through the internet and stuff like that. It seemed interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Tokyo Ghoul and 009-1, we'll find out if that's how it's pronounced next time.
Mm-hmm.
And next time will be Sans Veda. Rest in peace.
Yeah. We'll miss her.
Sorry.
I hope wherever
Bye-bye.
she's
And then
going, she
after
has a
that-
great time.
And then after that will be Sans me.
Sans Liam for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
What are we gonna get up to while
Rock people.
Liam's gone?
Lots of shit talking.
The harem's gonna be loose. Well, don't worry. We'll shit talk Veda tomorrow.
We'll find a new harem lord.
We'll shit talk
Aw.
Veda next week. We can shit talk Liam the week after. You guys can shit talk me in July. We just really needed time to shit talk Leah.
Sorry, guys.
So
Yeah.
think about penciling
Yeah,
that in.
I ain't going anywhere. I have no life.
Guess we'll just
Aw.
have to do it live.
Yeah. Plug your ears.
Oh, don't
So
plug your
sad.
ears. Let her hear it.
Nope, just barred.
I think we'll probably have the least shit talking to do about Leah. She's the innocent one, right?
Oh, I see how it is,
Innocent.
Liam.
What
like-
does
I mean,
that
like, none of us are really that innocent, but
I would argue none of us are really that bad either. But
I think like me and Becca are at the bottom of like the moral.
oh,
We're
really?
talking about
We're not gonna
in
just-
regards to the internet. Yeah, it's probably me.
Yeah, quite innocent.
Anyway, we should go.
Yeah, before
This episode
feelings
is
get
long.
hurt.
Yes, it is
Interesting power dynamics.
long. Hope listeners are still there.
Thank you for listening if you made it this
Yes,
far.
thank you.
Yeah, if you have, check out our premium episode. I can promise if you enjoyed this episode, you'll definitely enjoy that episode.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Find us on Facebook and on Podbean and on iTunes. Like, listen, subscribe, all that bullshit. Just do it.
Comment.
Yeah. I see we're up 2 likes on Facebook, so we're
Yeah.
making headway. Yep. We'll get the
I
rest of you
promise
later.
we'll start posting more,
We're
Yeah.
famous.
but not spam more. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's leave.
Yeah. Have a good night,
Good night,
listeners,
everybody.
or day, whatever. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.